Yo, what's up, guys? It's JV, one half of the J&J podcast. So last time I did one of these videos by myself, I was reacting to ESPN's mock draft, and so today I decided I'm gonna do my own mock draft, a little pre March Madness mock draft. Um, just excited. Next week the tournament starts on Thursday, so we're at the start of conference play right now. Um, Shout out to Conca He really held it down for Duke yesterday. Prayers for Cooper Flag. He rolled his ankle. I'm hoping he gets back soon because we're gonna really need him. And Malik Brown, prayers out to him because he's probably gonna miss the whole tournament. But I'm excited. I love this time of the year. I love March Madness. Um, Anything can happen. The best teams don't always win. We saw Virginia was the number one seed 2018. They lost in the first round, and then they won it the year after. We saw that Duke team with Zion, RJ, Cam losing in the Elite Eight, didn't even make it to the Final Four. So I just love the unpredictability of March Madness. But I got this mock draft for you guys that I wanted to do. So and this one's a little bit different because I did this based off what so the teams isn't based off the current records. I kind of did like a lottery sim. So right now currently we have the New Orleans Pelicans with the number one pick. So getting started underway. Pelicans number one pick. I feel like this is a weird spot because obviously you would go with Cooper Flag, but you still have Zion on the roster. And do you think they could play together? That's something that I wouldn't even. I don't think they could, but you could give it a try. Just collect all that talent together. But whether Zion is still on this team next season, that's up in the air. But whether he is or whether he's not, I would still just draft Cooper Flag because you're in a win-win situation. You take him, you have him and Zion together, and then you could just build off of that, or you trade Zion and just continue on with Cooper Flag. You never know. But I feel like you just take him regardless at this point. Um, the second pick um is the Portland Trailblazers. So in this sim, they actually jumped up because currently they are projected to get like the eighth pick. And this is a team that I've been on record saying that I would love for the Blazers to get the number one pick because to me, this team they deserve it. Just watching them the other night against my Knicks. Shout out to Mikal Bridges hitting that shot. But this is a really fun team. Like they have some young pieces. Like Tamani Kamara has made a name for himself. Denny Avdia, I love that pickup in the offseason. Scoot is starting slowly but surely starting to find his way. Shaden Sharp. There's a lot of good guys on this team, and this is a team that if they got the number one pick, I would be so happy because this team deserves it. Um, with this pick, um, I mean, I've said it. I said it in the last mock draft. Um, that if Portland was to get the second pick, I would take Scoot Henderson and take him to the airport. And I know Scoot has been playing better, but I would take Dylan Harper still. I don't care because yeah, Scoot has shown the flashes, but I think I'm just a little bit more confident in Dylan Harper's ability. Just also the size, like him being 6'6", 220, like he is a legitimate big guard. And if you see the way the NBA is going now, it's like kind of big guards. Like you see Luka Doncic, who's 6'7", Cade Cunningham, who's like 6'5", 6'6". Well, LaMelo Ball. Like you have all these big guards. Even Tyrese Halliburton on a lesser degree, who's like 6'5", even though he's a thinner frame. But you have these taller point guards, and the smaller guards, you see some of them excel. It really depends on the personnel, like having a backline defense, like someone like a Darius Garland who's 6'1", 6'2", but he has the trees behind him. Or usually small guards, they come with some elite athleticism, and we thought that of Scoot, but the more we've seen him in the NBA, is looking like the athleticism was more on the average level at the NBA level. So I would take Dylan Harper, someone who doesn't rely on athleticism. He's very crafty, could get to the line, and he could make it happen. I think he's a guy who could play with the ball. He could play without the ball. He just played with Ace Bailey. Um, Disappointing season, by the way. Like, they didn't even make the tournament. But I think Dylan Harper's a guy who could fit in whether there's less talent or there's more talent around him. He's gonna excel regardless. So I would take Dylan Harper here. Um, and then the answers with Simons and all that, you answer that in the offseason because I don't think he'll be on the team. Next up, third overall pick, the Philadelphia 76ers. So in this, they actually keep their pick. They move up. Third overall pick. Well, I feel like you could go one of two ways here. Um, I do like I do think about Ace Bailey, but on a team with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, I know Paul George is locked down too. I don't know if Ace Bailey is really the best pick here, just because he's somebody that needs the ball. And he's gonna have to defer a lot. That's like a lot of other guys that you have to defer to. And the playmaking isn't really there. He still struggles with that. But I know some people would look at it like at the talent and be like, damn, you can't really pass that down. Um, it really depends on the direction that the Sixers want to go. Like, if you're really trying to gun for this championship window with Embiid, or if you just want to build for the future. I think this is what I'll say. If they want to think about the future and just build on the future, I'll just take Ace Bailey. The only thing that scares me is just like, I guess maybe when you get Embiid and Paul George out of there, you build a different culture, because in the Embiid era, it's a lot of bad habits, a lot of losing. Embiid came into this team when they was losing on purpose. So imagine like the shitty locker room and all the shitty habits that have been built. I wouldn't want that for Ace Bailey. That's something you do not want, because Ace Bailey is probably the most polarizing prospect in this draft. So if I'm thinking about the post Embiid era, I would go with Ace Bailey. But if you're thinking you could win right now and you have the best chance and you're gonna capitalize on these last years of Joel Embiid and take advantage of whatever healthy seasons he may have left, I would take VJ Edgecombe, because he's probably the best fit in terms of winning right now, because he's a wing that doesn't necessarily need the ball. Really good perimeter defender. His jump shot has been looking a lot better as of late. Could attack the rim, add more pressure. He could play make a little bit, but I wouldn't trust him with ball handling duties. But you got that covered because you have Tyrese Maxey and you have Jared McCain. So it really depends on the direction. I'm I've always been team, if you get this top pick, use this and build around McCain, Maxey. So with that being said, I'll take Ace Bailey. Yeah. The fourth overall pick, the Toronto Raptors. This is such a weird spot to be in. Cause yeah, like I said last the last video I did, they kind of have their starting five down pat. They really just need a center. And fourth overall pick, I feel like it's kind of high for Kamal Malawach. But I mean, I don't want to. Could I trade back in this? I mean, realistically, if they're fuck it, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna take Kamal Malawach, because I don't really like I don't like Kasparis here at all. VJ Edgecombe. I mean, I feel like VJ Edgecombe in Toronto doesn't really do anything. Because you have, I don't know, like, you could take him just overall talent wise, Trey Johnson is another bucket. Jacoby Walters there, so I don't really like that. I wouldn't take Igor Demon. Derek Queen. Mm, I think I would just take Kamal Malawaj here. It might be a little high for him, but I think this is a position of need for the Raptors because they have Jakob Poeltl, who I don't think he'll be on the team next year, and plus he don't even fit the timeline. Chris Boucher, who's you don't want him at your five, and then outside of that, looking down the roster, Orlando Robinson, yeah, like the center depth is really thin, and like I kind of thought about taking VJ Edgecombe here just because it's like that's like maybe best player available, but I don't know because they have some decent guards slash wings already. So just to add just to stockpile even more, um, I don't know. So I'm gonna take Kamal Malawaj here, even though it is kind of high. But I feel like a lot of this draft is really based on where like whatever team gets that pick, like wherever teams land. This doesn't mean like Kamal Malawaj in every draft is gonna go 4. Like if we was to do this every single time, if we was to simulate this every single time that he's going for every time, that is not the case. It's really just the fact that Toronto came up at 4 because I think Toronto's probably the best place for Kamal Malawaj, whether it was the 8th pick or it was the 3rd pick. I probably would have took Kamal here, so I'm gonna take him. Yeah, they need a center badly. The next pick we have the Washington Wizards. Um, Washington Wizards, um, so bad, so bad. They need honestly anything. They do need a point guard. I feel like I feel like Edgecombe and Trey Johnson have been better than Kasparis as of late, but it really depends. Like I could envision VJ here. You just add on more defensive ability, and he is probably, depending on who you ask, probably best player available here. Trey Johnson gives you an offensive option, um, while you still have Koulibaly defensively and Alex R. So you could take a look at that. I think I would go. I want to see what team has the next pick. Could I even see that? No, I don't. Yeah, I can't even see that right now. Damn. So they might just run another year with no point guard. Um, I think I'm gonna take VJ Edgecombe here just because the tandem with Koulibaly, Edgecombe, and Alex Sarr defensively is gonna cause nightmares. And you're still gonna be bad next year to where you could get another guy. Cause hopefully if you get top 3 next year, maybe even top 4, you're feeling pretty good. So I'm gonna take VJ here. The next pick, this is 6 overall, Utah Jazz. All right, so this is okay. Good thing I picked VJ. All right, so this is where I'll take Kasparis. Um, yeah, Utah has a pretty solid roster, but they don't have the guy. Um, do I think Kasparis can be the guy on this team? Not necessarily, but I think he's a step in the right direction because this team. I mean, shout out to Isaiah Collier. It really depends if you think he could be your point guard of the future, but I wouldn't mind seeing them battle it out. Like Kasparis is a 6'6" point guard. He has cooled off like lately. Like he started off the year so on fire, but he's shown the ability to hit that step back 3. Pretty good playmaker. Um the concerns is kind of like if he could create for himself at that next level with these NBA athletes, that's where you're going to see some concerns there, but I think I would take him because you still need that lead ball handler. And with Will Hardy, I would take that chance because why not? Why not just take that chance? Because I don't. I don't see Colin Sexton being on this team next year. Don't see Jordan Clarkson being on this team next year. And I don't know. You could have a little battle with Collier and Kaspersky Jakuchonis. So and Keontae George, I see him more as a two guard, maybe a combo. They do absolutely need that lead guard. So I'm gonna take Kaspersky here. Next pick, got the Charlotte Hornets. Wow, this is so you got LaMelo Ball. This is a team. If this happened in real life and they fell, this is what pick 7. If they fell this far, I know they would be tight. This is tough. Well, Mark Williams is still there. You still got LaMelo, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller. This is such a weird spot to be in. I kind of 7th overall pick. I really like. I wanted to add Trey Johnson here, but it's like, damn, bro. Like, this team needs everything, bro. Because defensively, this team sucks. Trey Johnson's not really adding to that. Con Knipple would be cool here too, but he's not really adding to that defensively. I feel like they need, because you pretty much have LaMelo Ball, who's gonna give you 27 a game with like 11 or maybe like 9 to 10 assists. You have Brandon Miller, who's gonna give you like 23 points a game. Miles Bridges, who's gonna give you like 21 points a game. And even Mark Williams is going to give you like 13 points a game. Do you need another scorer in Trey Johnson? No. I would like to see a balance, like somebody who's gonna, like someone defensively that could add something different to this team. Because I mean, you could see LaMelo's gonna offensively, he's gonna do his thing. Brandon Miller offensively gonna do his thing. They need something defensively, and I think the best guy right now on the board for them would be Asanul, to pair him with Mark Williams in the front court. That could be something, because I think the Salam pick was, I mean, right now, I didn't like the pick at the time, and I still don't like it now. Like you gotta wait for that. At least Asanul is someone, he's gonna help on that defensive side of the ball, and you could see a little offensive upside with him. So I'm gonna go with Asanul, and just pick him here for Charlotte, because I think they need more like balance more than anything. The Brooklyn Nets at 8. Um, I think here Trey Johnson wouldn't be bad, but then it's like I know a lot of people compare him to Cam Thomas, and it's like, damn, you really gonna draft 2 of them? Yeah, because I think he'll be better than Cam Thomas. I'm gonna take Trey Johnson. This motherfucker is a bucket, especially in the SEC. The SEC, the toughest conference in college basketball, and he is the leading scorer of this conference. And as a freshman, like breaking Kevin Durant records, doing his thing, like he had a stretch in the college season where he had 24, 32, 29, 39. Like he can get you a bucket, and he's 6'6". I think with Jordy Fernandez, what he's been able to do, I think he could build the proper pieces around. I'm not saying to build around Trey Johnson, but I feel like Trey Johnson could be like kind of like a complementary piece and another complementary score for the next guy they get. And maybe hopefully they're bad next year again, where they could climb up even higher. It sucks because in this mock draft they fell. They were supposed to be 5th, and they fell down to 8th. So next pick we have the San Antonio Spurs. Wow. This is kind of I mean, I'm not gonna say Igor Demon. I don't think this is updated, and so it may seem like Igor Demon is the best player available. He's kind of struggled as of late, so I'm not He might not even get taken in this lottery. I'm not gonna take him here. Derek Queen, no, I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm gonna take my guy, Con Knipple. Because what he's shown, especially in that game yesterday versus Georgia Tech, is that he can be your secondary creator or another creator you could have play with the ball, create, and he's basically been our point guard this year because Tyrese Proctor has been taking more of an off the ball shooter role, playing defense, point of attack. Con Knibble's been playing more with the ball in his hands, making decisions. He has that 2-man game with Kaman Malawach, and we saw down the stretch in that Georgia Tech game. I believe it was 20 points in the second half or 22 points in the second half, finished with 28. He is a guy that you are comfortable with to have the ball in his hands. And it doesn't hurt to have that. Now you will have De'Aaron Fox, who could have the ball in his hands. Stephon Castle, who you trust with the ball in his hands. Wemby, obviously. And then you add on to that. Well, and then Devin Vassell. I was forgetting a few names. Devin Vassell, you trust, but now you add Con Knipple, another guy who you could trust with the ball if he needs to put the ball on the floor, or a guy who could play off the ball and spot up and move without the ball and space the floor. So I think this is a great fit for him, and this is like a seamless fit. I think Con is one of those guys that he could go to almost every team and kind of just fit in. So that would be the pick for me here at 9. The next pick, we have the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls, I feel like they really need. Damn, Jeremiah Fears would have been so fire here, but they got so many guards. I'm not even gonna do that to them. Chicago Bulls, I see them moving off of. I see them moving off of Nikola Vucevic, and that should be like the main thing that they do. So I think I'm gonna take Derek Queen here, and maybe it's a little bit high because some people have him falling, but I like Derek Queen's game. Finesse big, very good footwork. Some of the defense is in question, but he's a guy that I think potential wise he could probably end up being the best center in this class. Some people view Kaman as the higher potential, but just some of the tools that Derek Queen has are just very impressive for his size, and just the soft touch that he has around the rim, and just getting after it on the glass. Like he's had a lot of like 14, 15 rebound games in this season. So I would take him at the center spot because I know the Bulls really, really need a center. They have too many guards. The wing position, I know. I mean, the wing position, like the wings on the board, I feel like it's kind of too early for some of them. Like Liam McNeely is cool for the Bulls, but I would rather take Derek Queen just because of the upside. So I would go with him. Yeah. 11th overall pick, we got the Miami Heat. Oh damn, Miami Heat. What does this team need badly? This team needs a fucking point guard. Yeah, this team needs a point guard, bro, badly. Cause you have Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Kevin Love still, Khalil Ware, Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier. That's like that big glaring hole right there. Looking at best point guards available, Nolan Traore. I'm not doing that. Jace Richardson would be kind of fire here, but nah. I think I would just say fuck it and take Jeremiah Fears. Um, yeah, I think I'll take him just because you see the explosive plays he has in college basketball, the excitement, everything he's been able to do. He's giving you 17 a game, giving you four assists a game. Could be better as a 3-point shooter. He needs to improve on that. He's only shooting 27% from the field, but shooting 84% from the free throw line, so he could get better in that aspect. But he is a guy who's gonna be exciting. You would hope under the right tutelage of the under the Miami Heat, he's gonna grow, and I trust Miami's development that he's gonna become a very good basketball player. Like his last two games, last game against Kentucky, 28 points. Game before that against Georgia, 29 points, and he was talking a little shit too. So, um, I would take Jeremiah Fears here because you had some excitement at the guard position, and I trust Miami's development that they could make him even better than he is, and he has good size too. Pause. At 6'4", 182. You can hope that he grows with this team because they desperately, desperately need a point guard. Even though he's more of a score first point guard, um, I think it could the Miami Heat could benefit from that. Um, what pick is this? I think this is the 12th pick. Houston Rockets. Um, damn, how the fuck did they get here? This is crazy. I don't know how they got here. I mean, Fred VanVleet, don't know if he'll be on this team next year. Uh, maybe they make a trade or something. Um, a lot of things in question for this team. I think this team needs obviously a point guard, but I feel like the way they've been going, they don't want to draft another point guard. Maybe they just keep Fred VanVleet, and you still have Reed Shepard off the bench. Um, Jabari Smith's future is in question. Um, and you never know. This team has always been in talks about trading for Kevin Durant or something like that. Um, I look at the two guys I'm looking at is Rasheer Fleming out of St. Joe's. He's one of my kind of sleeper picks, but it's not really a sleeper no more if he's the 15th best prospect. But I feel like it might be a little bit redundant. I think I'm gonna go Liam McNeely here. Forward gives you more space and never hurts to have space in the league. And with a team like this defensively, you could kind of hide his deficiencies on defense. He's not like a garbage defender, but he could be a little bit. He leaves a lot to be desired. So on a team like Houston, he could kind of mask those along with space in the floor. So he could give you that. And it's also, if you want to move on from Jabari, you have a rookie who could kind of, with this second apron, he's going to be on a cheaper contract, and then you could just move on from Jabari. Next pick, the Dallas Mavericks. Damn, the 13th pick. This is the season from hell for Dallas. I mean, this team. I mean, this is kind of, I don't know. This is a weird spot to be in because actually this is kind of around what they would be in low key. So you have AD, Gafford, Lively, three centers. You don't need another one. Kyrie at point. I mean, you could say they need a point guard, but am I really gonna draft the point guard to start on this team? And Nico Harrison views this team as a contender. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna want somebody that could play right now and compete right now. And the guy that I'm looking at for them, I mean, Cam Jones would be cool because he's an older prospect. He's a guard. He could be a veteran. But since they have the benefit of picking in the lottery, 13th, I think I'm gonna go with. I mean, Colin Murray Boyles. Nah, on this team, he wouldn't be able to rock like that. I'm gonna go with Rasheer Fleming because I feel like Rasheer Fleming is a guy who's improved so much. Big wing, 6'9", 240. He has NBA body right now. He could go out, attack the rim. He's getting better as a 3-point shooter. Look, he's giving you 56% from the field. I know this might be too high for him. But I would take that chance because this is Dallas, so I mean, I don't know if they want to be swinging for the fences. I mean, according to Nico Harrison, they could win a chip. So I'm like, all right, fine, you got it. We're just gonna do that. Um, this year, he's shooting 42% from three on 5 attempts. So he has good enough volume and a good enough sample size to show you that he could knock down the three ball. He's gonna play defense. He's giving you 2 blocks a game and a steal and a half a game. So I like this pick for them because he's a guy who could play for them right away, like off the bench, be a contributor. And at 6'9", at 240 NBA size, it's hard to pass up on him. So I would take him there. And with the final pick of this mock draft, we got the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, your depth chart, you still got Trae Young, Dyson, Jalen Johnson, Larry Nance, Kongwu, Reese Shea. This team, I would look at a forward. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some upside. This is always like a weird spot to be in. Because it's hard to kind of pinpoint what exactly they need. Because this is a team that's weird because they kind of have all the positions they kind of need, but you're still not really satisfied with like with the guys you have. I think for Atlanta, I'm kind of looking at Colin Murray Boyles, somebody who's a 4 who you could potentially maybe see playing next to Jalen Johnson. But I kind of want to get a guy who could, I don't know, somebody who could kind of play within the flow of this team and not like take away from other guys. Fuck it. I think I'm gonna go with Colin Murray Boyles. I know Yegor Demon is cool, like the 6'9" size, the playmaking ability, and shit like that. But my thing with Yegor Demon is like the shooting is just bad, bro. Like it's really really bad right now, and it's a complete drop off. Like I think the main attraction with him is just that he's 6'9" and he has pretty good passing ability, but the shooting is bad. He's shooting 28% from three. He's basically a 6'9" Josh Giddey, and with Trae Young there, I don't give a fuck if you could play make. Like you have Trae Young, so I don't need a wing to play make. And someone like Jalen Johnson, who's solid, he's gonna create shit just through his aggressiveness. Same thing with Dyson Daniels. I think I'm gonna go with Colin Murray Boyles because he's a guy who's averaging 17 a game, giving you 8 rebounds, giving you almost 3 assists a game, and the main flaw is the 3-point shooting. But hopefully you hope he grows into that. But he's a guy that you could give the ball on the high post, hit that mid range three, or score on the inside, get those offensive rebounds. Somebody you could probably play next to Jalen Johnson, and you could see hopefully that growth with him. So I'm gonna take Colin Murray Boyles here out of South Carolina. And this is a guy who probably, if he was in last year's draft, he might have been like a top 5 pick. But he stayed another year. And shout out to him because he's been hooping this year, even though the Gamecocks have been kind of disappointing. Actually, not even kind of. They've been very disappointed. But yeah, so this is how the draft went. I did lottery only. So first overall pick, we had the New Orleans Pelicans taking Cooper Flag. Second pick, Portland Trailblazers took Dylan Harper. Third pick, 76ers took Ace Bailey. Fourth pick, the Toronto Raptors took Kamal Malawach. Fifth pick, we had the Washington Wizards take VJ Edgecombe. At 6, we had the Utah Jazz take Kasparas Jakuchonis. At 7, we had the Hornets take Asa Newell. At 8, we had the Nets take Trey Johnson. At 9, we had the San Antonio Spurs take Con Knipple. At 10, we had the Bulls take Derek Queen. At 11, we had the Miami Heat taking Jeremiah Fears. At 12, we had the Rockets taking Liam McNeely. At 13, we had the Mavericks taking Rasheer Fleming. And at 14, we had the Atlanta Hawks taking Colin Murray Boyles. So that's the end of it. Shout out to you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate y'all. This was fun. Maybe I'll do another one during March Madness or after March Madness. I know some people kind of want to get on and collab, so maybe that could happen in the future. But appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace.